It's time for the royal battle. Yes, Rajasthan Royals will take on Royal Challengers Bangalore at the MCA Stadium in Pune. And the news from Pune is that Royal Challengers Bangalore have won the toss and they have opted to field first. Two changes for RCB, where Anuj Rawat he sits out. Okay, first let's take a look at that. RR has been put into bat first. Plessis has won the toss. Rajat Patidar replaces Anuj Rawat in the RCB playing 11. So that's one change for them. For Rajasthan Royals, there are two changes. Daryl Mitchell comes in and Kuldeep Sen is in place of Obed McCoy. Daryl Mitchell comes in place of Karun Nair. Plessis at the toss is set that he will bowl first. And the other change that I was talking about for Royal Challengers Bangalore, and good news for a lot of Virat Kohli fans who wanted him to open. It looks like Virat Kohli will open tonight because this is what Plessis said at the toss. Rajat comes in for Anuj Rawat with Virat going to the top. We want him to get going right at the top, want to see the real Virat play. This is a new game, new day, and we'll have to play well. Interesting, doing everything to get Virat Kohli to score runs.
Absolutely, and this is what we were talking about, Meha, that Virat Kohli has to do something different. He has to go back to what brought him success in 2016 when he scored 900 plus runs, had a very high strike rate, that is open the innings. It's also something which he did last year for RCB.
Yes.
He said he wants to do it for RCB more and more in the IPL. Also, he wanted to do that for India. Of course, that didn't materialize. But it is the only way possible for Virat Kohli to now come out of form. Play in the power play, let the ball come onto the bat, make use of the fielding restrictions, get going, maybe hit over the top, find the gaps, get a few boundaries going, and who knows.
We've been saying that the only way now, this is the last throw of the dice for Royal Challengers Bangalore with respect to Virat Kohli's form and what they can do. So Virat Kohli now coming into open, and interesting that Plessis says it at the toss, saying it's a new game and we want the real Virat Kohli to come out. And I can imagine the pressure that Virat Kohli feels at the moment. I mean, none of us can imagine what he's going through. We don't know what it's like to be Virat Kohli in his highs or in his lows. But let's take a look at the playing 11 now for Royal Challengers Bangalore before we get to Rajasthan Royals. So, like I said, the change for them, just one change where Rajat Patidar comes in place of Anuj Rawat, and Virat Kohli will open with Plessis. And rightfully so. We spoke about this in our, in our preview show as well, Nikhil, at 3 o'clock. We said that Rajat Patidar most likely to come in place of Anuj Rawat. Anuj Rawat has been given a long enough rope. He just couldn't get runs.
Yeah, I mean, one good knock, but he has the lowest average as for an opener in this tournament. Virat Kohli will open with Plessis, and they have, they don't need to worry. I mean, even if there's a collapse in the top order, they have Maxwell, they have Karthik, they have Shahbaz Ahmed. So there is a decent, low order batting unit who can rebuild their innings. But they have to be positive. They have to take the attack, to the Rajasthan bowlers. And Virat Kohli, the only way for him to maximize and come out of this rut is to do something different and do something which got him a lot of success in 2016, that is to open the innings.
Again, interesting there for both the teams. In fact, both the captains at the toss said that they would have liked to bowl first. Given the trends that we've seen recently with teams winning batting first, it's interesting that captains still want to chase. Now that's, again, if you look at the numbers here, at MCA Stadium, it is, equal, 3-all. So teams chasing have won thrice and teams batting first have won thrice. And yet, teams have, yet again, we see Plessis doing that. Are you surprised?
No, I'm more surprised. Has Sanju Samson said he wanted to chase?
No, he said that he would have, he said we would have also bowled here.
Which is surprising because, I mean, someone needs to remind him that they won all their matches batting first. Unless there is something on this, wicket which we are not reading. But the pitch report by Deep Das Gupta said that it's, it's a two-pace wicket, which only means it will slow down later. So batting first then certainly seems to be an advantage.
But then it's also the pitch where KKR chased down 161 in the 15th over. So either way,
Yeah.
what we now know is that Faf du Plessis and Royal Challengers Bangalore, they won the toss and they have opted to field first. Now let's also take a look at Rajasthan Royals playing 11. A couple of changes there for Rajasthan Royals. One is that Kuldeep Sen is in place of Obed McCoy. Now Kuldeep Sen, the
Right-arm
limited
fast bowler,
opportunities that he was given, he did okay. He was okay.
Yeah.
But then they got Obed McCoy. Now they made him sit out. Kuldeep Sen's in. Anyway, the fifth bowler, I don't see that being a huge problem for them. But Daryl Mitchell coming in for Karun Nair, again, they realized that there was that weakness there. Riyan Parag wasn't getting runs. Karun Nair wasn't really impressive. So
I
getting
think,
somebody like Daryl Mitchell is good.
Yeah, I think they had to accommodate Daryl Mitchell because they were worried about the lower middle order. They understand that Shimron Hetmyer cannot do it all the time, and therefore they got Daryl Mitchell in, which is a good choice. He can also bowl, and it had to be at the cost of Obed McCoy. There was no other way. Kuldeep Sen, then right arm fast, did well against the Titans first match. Was a bit did well against the Super Giants. Was a bit expensive against the Titans, but he is a promising talent.
Okay, now the head-to-head record before we go any further for the two teams. Royal Challengers Bangalore will be happy with this head-to-head record because it's 13-10 in favor of the RCB. Also, RCB since 2020 have won all 5 matches. So
and that is the one which stands out. That is the one which stands out. Last 3 seasons, 5-0, including the first match between these two sides this season, where Dinesh Karthik played that cameo 44 of 20 odd balls, and then Yuzvendra Chahal got the wicket of Faf du Plessis, brilliant, 15 runs only in his 4 overs. Those two were the highest impact players for RCB in that match. Yuzvendra Chahal for RR, but RCB won that match. Yuzvendra Chahal actually did very well in that match, but Dinesh Karthik sort of took the game away. So advantage to RCB in the head-to-head, but I don't think they have a better lineup than RR. So therefore, for me, RR are stronger on paper and on form.
Also, RR will look to avenge that loss, which in the last match, they lost to Royal Challengers Bangalore by 7 wickets. And like Nikhil said, Shahbaz Ahmed and Dinesh Karthik rescuing Royal Challengers Bangalore there. Virat Kohli was run out, and the man who was instrumental in that run out was Yuzvendra Chahal, and the celebration after Virat Kohli got out, if you all remember, was quite something. So it is Yuzvendra Chahal once again against his former team. How will that play out? That'll be interesting. Also Yuzvendra Chahal again versus Virat Kohli. That's one matchup that we're looking forward to. But now let's take a look at Rajasthan Royals' story so far, and it has been a very good story, a story that they'd be happy with Jos Buttler, just the standout performer, not just for Rajasthan Royals, but for the whole IPL. 491 runs at a strike rate of 162, and a stat that Nikhil told me the other day, which is fascinating, is that his strike rate is the best by an opener in the history of the IPL, and that to me just
above Gale,
just shocking, but at the same time also shows you how absolutely brilliant he's been.
Absolutely. And also another interesting stat, his power play strike rate in this tournament, Meha, is 150. And we know that teams have been very cautious in the power play in this tournament. The overall, run rate in the power play in this tournament is just 7.71, which, therefore he is played above the norm in the power play. So clearly, 491 runs, we've spoken at length. I think, he's going to create something special, going to create history in this tournament. I think Virat Kohli's record, could be gunned down by Jos Buttler. He's already 60 runs ahead than what Virat was at this stage in 2016. 300s already. Virat got, most of his hundreds. He scored 400s that season. He got them all in the second half for RCB. Jos Buttler in the form, he 75% runs in boundaries. First 10 runs, he takes 15 deliveries, but then he just goes berserk, absolutely berserk, accelerates, scores big runs at a very high strike rate. The best batsman by far in the tournament.
Yes, and it's not just Jos Buttler, of course, the standout performer, the best batsman, as Nikhil said, in the tournament, but there is also the best finisher of the IPL in Rajasthan Royals in Shimron Hetmyer. And look at that, death over strike rate of 247. A lot of people did ask questions about why was Shimron Hetmyer bought for that kind of money by Rajasthan Royals, but Shimron Hetmyer proving his critics wrong and showing that he can bat consistently at that strike rate. And the best really between, I mean, I think the choices between him, Liam Livingstone, and of course Dinesh Karthik, all three performing really well. But Shimron Hetmeyer's numbers showing that how
Absolutely.
impactful, how lethal he's been for Rajasthan Royals. Okay, now for Royal Challengers Bangalore, that was the story for Rajasthan Royals. What about Royal Challengers Bangalore? In complete contrast to how Rajasthan Royals batting has been doing for Royal Challengers Bangalore, it's the top order that hasn't been consistent. So for Rajasthan Royals, if you have Jos Buttler, Virat Padikkal and Sanju Samson, who've been scoring the bulk of their runs, for Royal Challengers Bangalore, it is Dinesh Karthik and Shahbaz Ahmed who's sort of playing the rescuing act. That's the difference. But Dinesh Karthik, again, the standout performer, and we've got to talk about him. A complete change in how he's approaching his innings and how he's doing it consistently, under pressure, in situations where Virat Kohli's, and you know, there are times when he's come in and 4 wickets have fallen in no time, and then to rescue them, it's been fantastic.
Absolutely. So in fact, you know, all his 4 high impact knocks have come when the team has lost, RCB has lost, you know, half their side before the 14th over. Maxwell hasn't done much. Kohli has failed in every match except a couple of 40s.
Yeah.
So, you know, to come out and, you know, suddenly produce the kind of shots he does, and then continue, you know, taking calculated risks, winning matches almost single-handedly in partnership with Shahbaz Ahmed. You know, he's been an absolute revelation. And as you've mentioned before, he's practiced this. This is a special skill. Not everyone can do it. Very few players can do what him, Hetmeyer and Livingstone are doing in this tournament. You know, you can build your innings and then accelerate. That a lot of players can do. But to do it from the word go takes special skill, and, you know, he's just mastered it.
Yeah, can he do it yet again? That's what I think. I think Rajasthan Royals, as much as they love Royal Challengers Bangalore, as much as they love Dinesh Karthik and how he's been performing, they really don't want to get into a situation where Dinesh Karthik has to rescue them every time. And that's why it's so important for Faf du Plessis and Virat Kohli to fire. But even for Faf du Plessis, 255 runs. Yes, he's not the Faf du Plessis who played for Chennai Super Kings, but he is still doing enough for them.
He's doing enough for them, and he also realizes his role now. I mean, you know, CSK, he had 2 great seasons, almost freak seasons. But, you know, Virat Kohli is not doing well. Glenn Maxwell is not doing well. So he just slowed down. He's being more mature. Also, he's the captain. Maybe that is the reason. We are seeing a trend where captains are batting more maturely, and maturely means slowing down. So, you know, that's a bit, but I do expect him to play one of his magical knocks, or more than one magical knock, in the remainder of the tournament.
Yeah, we know he's got the class and the pedigree, and he can do it. He's done it in the tournament. We've seen that from him. I think this wouldn't hurt as much how Faf du Plessis is batting if Virat Kohli was getting runs and if he was more consistent. Okay, but there is another man that we've not been talking about who's been consistent. I will come to Vanindu Hasaranga in a bit, but Shahbaz Ahmed needs a mention. Just the unsung hero so far for Royal Challengers Bangalore. And every time you mention Dinesh Karthik's name, I think you've got to mention how well Shahbaz Ahmed has also batted with him, punching above his weight. But there's one man who is doing really well for them, is also Vanindu Hasaranga. We talked about this, the fact that, you know, they let go of Yuzvendra Chahal, Vanindu Hasaranga filling that place well. 11 wickets, strike rate of 14, Nikhil.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
He's doing what was expected.
What was expected. You know, otherwise, you know, RCB could have been in brick. We've seen, you know, teams like MI suffer for various reasons, but one of the major reasons, they don't have a replacement for their class leg spinner Rahul Chahar. So teams which have, you know, a world-class leg spinner have done well in this tournament. Leg spinners have dominated. So Hasaranga was very important, especially when RCB let go of Yuzvendra Chahal, one of their finest in the middle overs. And Hasaranga has not let them down.
That's right. Okay, then we move on to Josh Hazlewood. 8 wickets at the strike rate of 11.2. He missed the first 4 matches. I think he's just played 4 matches so far.
Yes.
It's just also showing how well he can bowl. We've seen him do this for Chennai Super Kings, but just coming in and 8 wickets in 4 matches at a strike rate of 11.2. He's only come and strengthened what was a very good bowling lineup.
Absolutely, and this is also, you know, a very important timing by Josh Hazlewood, given Mohammad Siraj, the strike bowler for RCB, hasn't performed to the best of his ability in this tournament so far. So therefore, Hazlewood's timing, 8 wickets, 4 matches, absolutely very, very crucial for RCB.
Okay, we've talked about Hazlewood, we've talked about Hasaranga, a mention of Harshal Patel, economy of 5.66 in the middle overs. That's as important, if not more. He may not be getting as many wickets, but he is holding forward in the middle overs, just making sure that opposition does not run away with that total. But now, just coming back to Virat Kohli and his poor form, Nikhil, we've been talking about it for a while, but this is not just Royal Challengers Bangalore. We've talked about that as well. This is about Indian team and about Virat Kohli's form, affecting India's chances at the T20 World Cup. I mean, you're looking ahead and you're saying that, and in fact, it's not just Virat Kohli, it's also Rohit Sharma. But today's game and the matches from here on, every match is so important. And they're doing everything because now they've got him to open. And like I said, last throw of dice, can he come good today?
Well, if he doesn't come good opening the innings, then we have a problem. I mean, he cannot bat at 4, 5 or 6. That is not Virat Kohli's game. So this is a good move. This is a good move. Virat Kohli needs to deliver. There's no other way. He needs to deliver with the bat. Yes, this is the IPL. And there is a South Africa tour coming after this. South Africa is coming to India. We are going to England. He'll have some international matches. His record in international T20I cricket has been quite good, in fact, even during his period of slump. But I think if you have such a torrid tournament with the bat in the IPL, it will sort of spill over to international cricket as well. Virat Kohli needs to contribute in the rest of the tournament. His numbers are abysmal. One of the lowest average for a number 3 batsman of 17 in this tournament, failed every 3 out of 4 innings. That strike rate hasn't gone anywhere for the last 3 seasons. It's at 122. This is today is the day
and
he's
also
opening.
Just finding ways to get out.
Runouts.
There are 2 runouts.
Playing uppishly.
Correct.
It's not happening for Virat Kohli. So 2 golden ducks, first time in IPL history. These things you don't associate with Virat Kohli. Maybe today is the day. Let's hope today is the day. Today
is the day. Let's hope that today is the day, in fact. But today can also be another day for the 2 X-Factor players that we have for you, the players who can make a difference. One has already been doing it in the tournament so far, Jos Buttler for Rajasthan Royals. Can he score another 100 today? That's also another question. The way he's going, though, he is unstoppable. 491 runs in 7 innings, just playing in another zone. This is incredible stuff.
Incredible stuff. I mean, all sorts of records are at stake. Highest score in a season, most hundreds in a season, most hundreds Chris Gayle holds in IPL history. As we've discussed several times, he doesn't, look like a destructive opener. We all think, when we think of destructive opener, Virendra Sehwag, Chris Gayle, Prithvi Shaw. But like I said, he has the highest strike rate as an opener in IPL history, and that says it all. And this year's season, he's been in, just a different zone. Seeing the ball, playing himself, giving him some time, first couple of overs, and then going ballistic. That's the success mantra, scoring 75% in runs and boundaries.
A lot of people on Facebook are saying go RCB, supporting Royal Challengers Bangalore, hoping Virat Kohli to do well. But we'll also, for all of you who are just joining us now, the news from the MCA Stadium in Pune is that Royal Challengers Bangalore have won the toss and they've opted to field first. There is just one change for Royal Challengers Bangalore. Rajat Patidar has come in place of Anuj Rawat. That's the one change for Royal Challengers Bangalore. Also, Faf du Plessis clarifying at the toss that Virat Kohli will indeed be opening the batting with him. For Rajasthan Royals, they made 2 changes. Daryl Mitchell has come in and Kuldeep Sen have come in. Obed McCoy sits out, and who else sits out, Nikhil? Obed McCoy. Karun Nair sits out, so Daryl Mitchell is in for them. So that's the news from the MCA Stadium in Pune. But now coming back to the X-Factor player for Royal Challengers Bangalore, if it's Jos Buttler for Royal Challengers Bangalore, Nikhil, who do you think who can make a difference? A lot of players, but
today, I think because he hasn't done as well as expected, it's going to be Glenn Maxwell's day. Okay. Just he started tournament on a good note. but he hasn't sort of fired there. After just 124 runs, he still maintained his strike rate, but he needs to give, put on a substantial score today, a 40, 50, or even higher, depending when he gets a chance. He needs to produce, what he did last season when he scored 500 plus runs, striking at 145 for them. We know his numbers. Death over strike rate is 173, second highest strike rate in ODI history, one of the most unconventional and destructive batsmen, I would say, in limited overs history. Today, he realizes he hasn't done much. It is the business end of the tournament. RCB needs him to do well. Otherwise, the way they're in the top 5, but very soon, if they don't deliver, you cannot afford 68 all-outs every day. They could be in the bottom 4, bottom 3 very soon.
Also, it is a 10-team league this time, so that they'll be scrapping for that 4th position there.
And the net run rate is poor because of the loss.
Because of the loss. Also, they are 5th in that top 5. So, yes, from here on, every match for Royal Challengers Bangalore important. For Rajasthan Royals, though, they are in the 3rd position and they have started well. But what can we expect today when it comes to key battles? So, the first key battle, of course, has to be anything with Jos Buttler. So, anyone against Jos Buttler, Josh Hazlewood. That's one to watch out for as well.
It's going to be an interesting battle. The numbers, not much in the numbers there, but interesting because firstly, it's an Englishman against an Australian, and then Buttler is in the form of his life. Josh Hazlewood has started the tournament brilliantly, 8 wickets in 4 matches. So 2 informed players against one another, neither one willing to give an inch. Therefore, this is going to be a fascinating battle in the power play.
Okay, so that's Jos Buttler versus Josh Hazlewood. The other one is Wanindu Hasaranga versus Sanju Samson. And these numbers are quite something. 5 innings, 15 deliveries, and he has gotten him out 4 times. I think the moment Sanju Samson comes in, Faf du Plessis is going to give the ball to Wanindu Hasaranga.
Yes, absolutely. And there'll be, a barrage of wrong guns, googlies, which are going to be built because all those 4 dismissals were by the, googly and the wrong gun. Hasaranga again has been brilliant. Samson hasn't, been that good for RR, but he's still striking the ball well. He's just 1 knock away, from finding that rhythm which he had last year. This could be a very interesting battle in the middle overs.
Okay, then the other battle in the middle overs will be between Glenn Maxwell and Ravichandran Ashwin. Again, 11 innings and 55 balls, 115 runs.
Dominated by Maxwell.
209 is the strike rate. He's been dismissed just twice. This will be interesting to watch as well.
Very interesting, and because Ashwin has been very restrictive for the Royals in the middle overs, Maxwell hasn't done much yet, as we discussed, but his record against Ashwin is absolutely splendid across all T20 cricket. That's striking above, and this is not a small sample of matches, this is a large sample of matches. So striking above 200, just 2 dismissals. I think Maxwell likes the ball coming in. I think it's going to be fascinating today.
Okay, then in the death overs, Dinesh Karthik versus Yuzvendra Chahal. Again, something that Rajasthan Royals analysts would know of. 9 innings, 83 balls. He's been dismissed thrice. And in fact, that's not balls, but that's the strike rate. Dinesh Karthik's strike rate against spinners comes down substantially, and then specifically against Yuzvendra Chahal, his strike rate is 83.
Yes, and therefore I feel that Samson will keep 1 or 2 overs, at least 1 in the death overs for Yuzvendra Chahal, although he's a leg spinner. It will be a risk. But hey, Dinesh Karthik, he has, you have to take a risk to get Dinesh Karthik out. He's been in the form of his life. So it is a risk worth taking.
Okay. Will this be a risk worth taking? I think I think Rajasthan Royals will think this is a good one to do because, I mean, he has been, in fact, bowling well to Dinesh Karthik. Okay, now for all of you who are joining us now, the news from the MCA Stadium in Pune is that Royal Challengers Bangalore have won the toss and they have opted to field first. And one change for RCB, Rajat Patidar has come in place of Anuj Rawat, Virat Kohli to open the innings with Faf du Plessis. Will Virat Kohli be in form today? Will Virat Kohli be able to get out of that slump that we've all been talking about? That's the question. All eyes will be on the former Indian captain, former Royal Challengers Bangalore captain, Buttler, and opens the innings now for Rajasthan Royals with Devdutt Padikkal. And I think for Rajasthan Royals, this is pretty simple, as simple as it can be. both Jos Buttler and Devdutt Padikkal, the top order, once again has to give them a very good start.
Especially Padikkal. I mean, Buttler has done a lot in the tournament already. Padikkal needs to be a little more consistent, show a bit of the form he had last year. And then Samson also. Samson is due a big score, and time has come for him to deliver for RR.
For Royal Challengers Bangalore, though, it's important that they get early wickets, because if they can get early wickets, if they can get Jos Buttler out, that's job half done for them.
Absolutely, they need to get early. If they don't get Jos Buttler, RR will score 200 plus, and then it's going to be a problem for Royal Challengers Bangalore. Buttler's wicket is extremely important, but this RR team, I think they've made them good changes. Daryl Mitchell is a very good batsman to bat in the lower order. He can hit the long ball, good all-rounders. So I think RR has done well, making those changes.
Okay, so Jos Buttler and Devdutt Padikkal in the middle. Shahbaz Ahmed starts with the new ball.
Starting with spin. So they're starting with spin. This is clearly a ploy to control Jos Buttler. I mean, this is the only reason why they're starting with spin and not with pace. They don't want Jos Buttler, he's talked all the fast bowlers around the 4 venues. They don't want to give him pace with the new ball. Interesting. At least, there's something new is being tried.
Okay, prediction time, quickly. How much will Rajasthan Royals score?
Today's match, 195.
Okay. 170 is the average score here at the MCO Stadium, batting first. 195 because Rajasthan Royals, Jos Buttler. Okay, and RR will win.
RR will defend and win by 20 runs.
And I say kudos to you on that one, because I'm supporting Rajasthan Royals as well. So that's it. News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to if you want the latest from the world of sports, analysis, interviews, updates, everything from the world of sports. We'll upload lots of videos there, so please do subscribe to that channel. And hopefully RR will win. Just out and out supporting them today. Thank you so much, Nikhil, Narayan, and that's it from us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.